Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 88 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. Me, your host, Olu Oke. Today will be our last episode for the 23-24 season, so we can all go and enjoy our break. But, of course, we have to touch on what has just happened. It don't happen, guys. Super Eagles are officially 5th out of 6 teams in the World Cup qualifying group after 4 games. In case you're living under a rock, over the last week, on Friday, Nigeria played South Africa at home in Uyo, drew 1-1, and then followed that up with a mightily impressive 2-1 loss against the Squirrels of Benin Republic, managed by former Super Eagles manager Gernot Rohr on Monday. So, as we see now, Nigeria played 4 games for the World Cup qualifier. We have not won any match. We have drawn 3 games. And we have lost 1. Only thing I'll say is our saving grace is that we're still only 4 points off the top because there's been a lot of draws in our group, but it's not been looking good, man. I just wanted to do a quick recap because honestly, man, the feeling is not nice at all. Anyway, South Africa game played in Uyo on Friday. Who did we see in the starting lineup? We had a makeshift back 4. Benjamin Tanimu, who's originally a centre-back, played right-back. Shemi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey played centre-back. Bright Osai Sama, who's not a left-back, played at left-back. We'll touch on why Oyemachi was not called up. Alex Iwobi and Wilfred Ndidi in the middle of the park. Fisayo Dele-Bashiru playing as a left winger. And Kelechi Iheanacho playing as a right winger. I don't know why. Kelechi Iheanacho is not a right winger, but we'll get into that. And then Lookman and Paulo Onuachu with 3 goals in 22 caps, leading the line. Anyway, the game against South Africa, we actually did all right, to be honest. We dominated possession. We had more shots. We had more shots on target. But once again, we just have to say just lethargic gameplay, man. Lethargic gameplay. Anyway, following that up, against Benin, Finidi George rang in the changes. He kept the back 4, which we'll touch on. I'm not really sure why. And then we saw Rafael Yedika come in to start his first Super Eagles match in place of Paulo Onuachu. No, in place of Iheanacho. And then Paulo Onuachu was also brought off, and then Terry Murphy started the game. So we played a 4-2-3-1 in the second game against Benin Republic. To show you how dire it is, you can't even find stats on the game between Nigeria and Benin. I urge you to try. It's an interesting find, but anyway, now so we see them, as we say. General thoughts on both of the games, extremely disappointing. Even with my worries about the defense, which the TikTok live wanted to eat me alive for, we could predict that our defense will struggle in these games. Did we expect them to struggle to this extent? I don't think so. Did we think chance creation will be this much of a problem? I don't think so. To make sure I don't ramble on, let me just summarize my thoughts. So against South Africa, first of all, shout out to Fisayo Dele-Bashiru for scoring his first goal for the Super Eagles in the competitive game as well, World Cup qualifier. Wearing the number 10 shirt, very heavy shirt, but he did really well. A few things I have to touch on. Paulo Onuachu played 80 minutes. Like I said, no matter your sentiments on Paulo Onuachu, he does not play well for Nigeria. He scored only 3 goals in his entire career for Nigeria. And one of them was that dramatic 1-0 win against Benin Republic like 2 or 3 years ago in the 90th minute. That's how bad he was. Victor Boniface was not used. Finidi George in his press conference, at least the clips we got to see, because we know in Nigeria, seeing press conferences is still something from the future. He said some really stupid reason for not playing Boniface, which was really silly. So Boniface not playing that game. I mean, Tanimu was really bad at right back, or shaky to say the least. I mean, when you think about Zwane's goal for South Africa, how easy it was for them to slice through our defense. It's just shocking, man. It's just shocking stuff, man. Shocking stuff. When Chukwueze came on, he did play well. He brought some urgency. A lot of people were telling me that Chukwueze should never play for Nigeria. Naive Busabiu, because Chukwueze I saw played pretty well in that game against South Africa. Even hit the bar when it was 1-1. A few more big chances missed late on in the game. Terry Murphy was played clean on goal by Chukwueze. Tried to round Rowan Williams, the goalkeeper, but he grabbed the ball. So not much to talk about, to be honest, but we still thought, okay, you have drawn against South Africa. Last on Monday, go and play Benin Republic and win. We started well, to be fair. Great goal by Rafael Yedika. I mean, if you guys, anybody that listens to this podcast, you know how much I'm talking about Yedika over the past few weeks or months, or in general. So no surprise to see that. He should be a guarantee starter as far as I'm concerned. Really, really good goal by him. Cut back, and then from outside the box, just ballooned it straight to the net. Benin played better once Yedika scored. Nigeria it's like they rested on their laurels. 2 poor goals conceded. Shocking defending. I mean, when you think about the first goal, I don't know what Bassi was doing, ball watching. And then the second goal, I mean, you can always tell when a team is not training on set pieces. Literally caught ball watching. And they let Steve Mooney just bang the ball in. The worst part of this is Benin Republic were not even at home. They played the game in Abidjan, when Nigeria have just finished second in the AFCON. So what was really the excuse anyway? But I mean, what else can we say? Nwabali had to make some important saves. Fisaya Delibashi was unused in this game. I'm not sure if he was injured. I mean, he brought on Boniface and Murphy in the 50th minutes to do what? You do that, but you take off Alex Iwobi in the same 50th minute, who's your one creative outlet who can actually join the defense and the attack together. So basically, the spaces between the defense and the attacker was so wide. It looked like Finidi just instructed them to play route 1 ball. Like, genuinely, that's what happened. They were hoofing the ball from defense straight into Boniface and was it Onwachu who stayed on? Or Murphy. We weren't even sure, for Onwachu, we weren't even sure. They were getting each other's way. There was no attacking sequence whatsoever. Like, honestly, it was dire. And the worst part is, I had a feeling we won't score. I mean, to make matters worse, Chukwueze, who was one of the liveliest players, got removed for Olawi. Olawi now plays in the Turkish league for one of the mid-table teams. And no offense to him, but you could see, man, him and he also Finidi also brought on Sadiq Ismail, this right back that we've been told is the Trent Alexander-Arnold of Nigerian football. He was shocking. I mean, they were really struggling at this level. You know, competitive debut, you can't just throw them in there. And it really showed. Like, the amount of crosses that were just wayward and with no sense of urgency or direction was doing my head in. Like, no attacking sequence, no play, nobody building up from the back. You take off Iwobi and you just tell them to punt the ball forward. What can you expect? Football is not magic. One of the things I love about football, it's one of the most meritocratic things you could do in society. If there's always a winner, there's always a loser, and sometimes you draw. But you must battle on the pitch. And Nigeria, it's not been happening. I mean, I don't even want to hear about the attitude of players and the coach. First of all, CAF scheduled these games in a terrible time. We'll accept that. But also, what you talk about preparation, these players had to fly to Abuja or Lagos, then fly to Uyo, or worry about how they're going to get to Uyo. They don't have a national team base in the most commercial city in the country or the capital, but yet we expect them to perform for Nigeria like it's magic. You must prepare. Stop blaming the players. When they were eating their hearts out for Nigeria during AFCON, you didn't think they were not competitive. Who told you they don't want to go to the World Cup? Every player wants to play in the World Cup. It's their one dream. But yet, Finidi George, man, we have to mention it. He was really, really, really poor. It also has to be said, Rufani Ndidi is not a great captain, man. To be honest, he hasn't played really well for Nigeria in 2 or 3 years. Like, he really looks lethargic. Like, he should not be at the base of the midfield. Maybe you can do what Maresca did at Leicester and try to play him as the 8th so he can go box to box. But there's something missing with the Ndidi at the moment. Anyway, we've made it difficult for ourselves. We now have to win all our remaining 6 games. We're 4 points behind Rwanda, South Africa, and Benin Republic. I mean, we have to win all our games and hope for miracles. I don't even know where to even start. But the good news is we don't have to worry about World Cup qualifiers till next year in March. So we'll see how Nigeria goes. Only first place gets automatic qualification, by the way. And for the first time, 9 African teams are guaranteed to be in the World Cup. But yet Nigeria might not be there. Like, oh my God, it is so annoying. Like, we complain about left back. No left back was called up. Why was Onyemachi not called up? I mean, don't even get me started on Tanimu. There's a reason he plays in the Tanzanian league. If you look at the coefficients of the African teams, Tanzania are not even, I mean, they're 6th. I mean, this is in Africa. And they don't even get me started on our MPFL Warriors. I mean, they keep telling us that it's not the quality of the MPFL players. But for context, Nigeria has the 12th best league in Africa. When you contextualize that in Europe, that is the Austrian league. Even Austria, They're not clamoring for players from the Austrian league to play for them when they know they have better players in other leagues. This thing needs to stop. It really needs to stop. 2009 was the last time a Nigerian team made the final of the CAF Champions League. That was when Arsenal was in the UCL semi-final last. That's how long ago it was. Lobby Stars, they're the last MPFL team to make it to the CAF Champions League group stage in 18-19 season. That was 5 seasons ago. And before that, it was Enyimba in 2016. And the last time a Nigerian team made the CAF Champions League knockouts was Sunshine Stars in 2012. I'm sorry, guys, but there's no divine right for players from the MPFL to be called up for Nigeria. It doesn't work like that. The Nigerian national team is not a developmental stage. Do what you have to do and work on your league. You don't see anybody complaining when Moroccans or Egyptians or Algerians or South Africans are called up from their national league to play for the national team. Guess why? Evidence day. We see how they perform when it comes to the big leagues in Africa. So please, I want this thing to stop. Also, Ekong was playing a friendly, but he was not called up. Apparently, he told the MPFL he's fit, but they said, no worry, we don't need you. You say there are not enough good centre-backs. Igo Ugbo, I don't know what he has to do to get a call up. Osho was there. Akpoguma was there. I saw Akpoguma on holiday. Tornariga was available. Olisanda was available. So it's not a question of depth at all. You know, like, why was HK not called up at a left winger? You know, all these logistical things happen. You cannot be an AFCON finalist and 4 months later you're in disarray. We just don't even know how to score. When last did Nigeria score 2 goals in a game? Like, what are we doing, man? Like, enough is enough, man. But yeah, anyway, now so we see Amo, Nigeria. We're still on your matter, but glad we don't have to think about World Cup qualifiers until next year. Hopefully, Osimhen will be back fit and Ekong will be back fit, because let me tell you, without Osimhen and Ekong, man, this Nigerian team looks really, really poor. I mean, they didn't even give Lookman any outlets. And I mean, the word's enough for the wise. I would personally sack Finidi George and go again. But I'm sure that there will be CAF AFCON qualifiers in September. So maybe they'll give him a final chance to see how he performs. So let's see how it goes. But anyway, it's been a pleasure bringing you all this content this year and getting back on the horse with the Nigeria Football Weekly. Continue to stream up. We appreciate all the support and all the listeners. Remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on every YouTube channel and at NFWPOD on Twitter. I've been okay, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Despite Nigeria's wailing, we still made the AFCON final this year, and we've had pretty impressive performances from our players in all the various leagues all over the world. So we go again next year. I'll be doing a review of all the summer transfers that involve Nigerian players, and I will see you in August. Take care, God bless, and do not let Nigeria ruin your mood like it ruined mine. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeria know they ever carry last.